Romance is something I've never done well. Leaving the carcass of a baby foal lovingly on your doorstep is apparently not what passes for signs of affection these days. Instead, it's mogging or whatever this is. Romance anime makes romance even more confusing, as it's been written entirely by people that look like this, and they're the ones giving the relationship guidance. It's like asking a priest to pick out the best kind of flavoured condom. It's no wonder that no children are being born in Japan. The government would do better to convert the entire populace to cells that split via mitosis. Romance was first invented when prehistoric larvae locked eyes on another. Ever since, it's been a total disaster. I'm about as romantic as a poorly lit underpass with plenty of places to hide in and strangle people, so maybe I'm not the best for this video. I think I give the Japanese a lot of shit for being weird, but honestly, I think it's just because they make lots of media, and therefore they're easy to make fun of. Therefore, I am making a solemn pledge that I, Wolf, am going to be a lot nicer to the people of Japan. Number 1. Indirect kiss. What a bunch of fucking losers. For the unaware, an indirect kiss is a thing in Japan, where you touch something with your lips, and then you give it to someone else, who then touches their lips on it. Therefore, it is a phantom kiss, your lips touching, an indirect kiss, oh good heavens. What happened, Japan? No, really. The notion of cool samurai goodwill is completely gone. Much in the same way that I'm filled with deep shame and regret after Cadbury's chocolate was bought by Americans, the Japanese should also feel equally bad for letting people find out that they can't even share straws without shitting and coming. I bet you thought the same thing I did when you learnt about the indirect kiss. Mainly, confusion. Technically, I could kiss my knuckle and punch someone in the face, and they would go ooh woo and blush. If I worked in catering, I'm just not going to wash any spoons. Then I'll tell them all in one giant group email that their spoony mouth has been a right little slut kissing everyone. Number 2. Confessing. You couldn't use CIA torture to make me confess to someone beneath a school tree. Why is it that anyway? Why a tree? I assume because it's isolated and there are less witnesses. This makes confessing your love and murder for hire share much of the same first steps. My other theory is that the tree is important so that it entertains the little critters above you who can laugh at you once you're rejected. In anime, confessing is this whole thing, and it turns out it's real. Saying you love someone is an important part of going to Nando's, apparently. This is quite a declaration. In Britain, people get married that don't even like each other, so if we had to love someone before we go on a date, then we'd see ski slope-esque population declines, which honestly explains a lot. What's still on my mind is what happens if they don't have a school tree. This type of genre-shattering insight is precisely why you are here, so like, comment and subscribe. Do you reckon that if they don't have a tree, they have to bring someone out dressed as one like in a school play? The end of the year is naturally the best time to confess, as afterwards it's when you would see them least. If someone asked me to meet beneath the kissing tree, then I'd simply say no. Save yourself the trouble. Inviting me to an isolated area is precisely how I got kidnapped in Bolivia in 1991, so I'm not falling for that again. If they ask you to meet, that's the sign of interest, surely. Whatever sweaty, doe-eyed expressions of feeling that they bellow out later is completely optional. Just find out if they're asking you and you know your answer. Here's an idea, Mrs. Romance protagonist, who doesn't want to be confessed to, as she can't choose between all of her handsome suitors. Just don't turn up on the last day of school. These bunch of pussies are going to wait to the last minute anyway, so do them all a favour and just don't turn up. Number 3. Reunions. Friends reconnecting before exploring the unknown peaks of a relationship is completely pointless. I've not met a single person that would be ever happy to see me again. Don't take this the wrong way, anyone who knows me in the fleshy world. I'm not interested. I don't want to see you. I've completed my metamorphosis into sweaty goblin, and at this stage it's terminal, so don't even bother. I keep getting invites to a meetup of former students of a college I went to, and it put me off faster than knob piranhas. They just stand there nodding as they show you pictures of their ugly children. I just zone out completely. You could switch out the kid photos for a grisly plane crash, and I'd be like, oh yeah, he's really growing. Anime reunions usually occur, 6 weeks after the end of high school? So what could have possibly happened in that time besides tragic tram crash? Here's something that bothered me about Silent Voice, which focuses on a reunion going into high school, and it's supposed to be this heartwarming process of coming to grips with past transgressions and overcoming it to find acceptance and love. Oh, how lovely, everyone says. Me, however, took it slightly differently. Notice that it was only when he saw how pretty she was did he decide to make amends. What a dickhead. He'd still be slapping her over the head with a saucepan if she didn't have slow loris-sized eyes. If she had teeth like a Bidoof, he'd still be pinging rocks off her head. Number 4. Op-love. By op-love, I mean adversarial relationships between potential lovers. The will they won't they is just too much angst for me, as they tend to approach it in 2 main ways. The tsundere, who I think we can all agree is fucking annoying. Oh, a tsundere, by the way, is someone who is mean to someone in place of speaking their inner truth. No thanks. I don't need anyone to call me a dumb idiot, because that's what my parents are for. The other adversarial relationship type being the I'm gonna make you like me. This is also extremely annoying, but in a different way. I don't want to peel back intent and emotional conveyance through minor tells in a person's body language. I've played LA Noire. I've done my time. Please can we just have giant LED signs with enough lights to dazzle opposite lanes of traffic that say I'm interested, dude? Is that too much to ask? Don't Mess With Me Nagatoro is one of these examples of annoying me. As the teasing is like, oh, I don't like him, the silly fuckface. Don't say that, Mina-chan. I'd never. There's only so much of that I can stand. After a while, I'd give her a $5 to piss off and leave me alone. I reckon they could be married with 5 kids, and she'll be like, I'd never sleep with him, like she had some sort of immaculate conception like Mary. She effectively gets off on the humiliation of having a cretinous partner, something you would assume I'd be greatly encouraged by, but sadly, I'm simply not ugly enough. Oh dear. Number 5. Yanderes. I put this on the list for a lack of a better place to put it. A yandere is another dere word, like tsundere, with yandere, hajidere, deridere, and of course Londondere, all basically play off dere, which means affectionate. Yanderes, specifically, are those who love someone so much that they will hurt people who interfere. It's supposed to be like this, oh, scary, but British women are all like this, so it's hard to say I know any different.
Care who you are? Oh, fuck!
I think it would be annoying to have someone murder everyone I talk to. Not that I talk to many people, but you know what I'm saying. You know how difficult it is to find a good doctor if someone keeps murdering them? There's been 18 separate petrol station employees that have gone missing in my area, as I simply keep asking them when the cream eggs are back in stock. I reckon a good rom-com would be a guy thinking he's got a new yandere girlfriend that likes him, and gets all flustered and nervous around her. But in reality, she's just a girl boss serial killer trying to live her best life with zero interest in him. Brilliant. Number 6. Arranged marriage. I've never been interested in arranged marriages. My mum struggles to pick out healthy plants at my local garden centre. She brings them home covered in diseases, and then they die, and then she gets sad. I told her at this point she's like the Grim Reaper for plants, which she didn't appreciate. So am I just going to trust my future wife no less to my mother? Yeah, probably. I've made absolutely no progress on the matter, so really I've got nothing to lose. Though then again, based on the plants she selects, I should expect my betrothed to be some kind of leper. Oh yeah, anime. Arranged marriages are shockingly common in anime, and there's a simple reason for that. It simply gives hopes to troglodytes to score a baddie. For guys, they can bag a hottie who has no choice in the matter, which makes it, some sort of serious ethical problem. And for girls, they can be like, oh no, I may get someone closer to a goblin than human, and then be shocked at just how handsome he is. But he's so cold to me. Will I be able to break through his little heart like an egg? Will I be the one to bring out joy in his life and allow the prospect of a happy family to blossom in his handsome and well-chiselled features? A guy, meanwhile, is more concerned if the batty is real or not, and even then, it's not really a deal breaker. I think arranged marriages are inherently funny in the modern day. You literally have the entire internet to find a match with, and half the world is like, nah, let me network with people at my hair salon and workplace and really fuck up my child's future. I think things were better when you didn't meet people till your wedding night, as we've lost the time-old tradition of threatening to kill artists if your portrait isn't flattering enough. A particularly galling one is this show that came out recently about a kidnapped woman being taken for a marriage by a barbarian chief. But he's actually so handsome, and that makes it fine. This is in fact a war crime and should be treated as such. Here's a segment I call Wolf's Question Corner, where I respond to some of your comments. Wolf, tell me more about the wolf versus weasel war. Firstly, the weasels know what they did and they definitely started it. Honestly, the conflict has been quite tragic if you look purely at the death numbers. Do I regret the terrible things I did during the worst days of the war? No, not really. They totally deserved it. Secondly, we have, can you wish a happy birthday to Daniel on June the 3rd? No, firstly, I have no idea when this video will be out, so you'll be happy with what you get. But belatedly, yes, happy birthday. Apparently you like stairs for some reason. I checked whether I was being tricked if there was some serial killer called the 8-Step Strangler, but it seems real enough. So here you go, mate. This one will be a fun little treat for you. Number 7. It's not what it looks like, senpai. Love triangles are innately cringe. Put me down as more of a dodecahedron man myself. The whole walking in on someone at an inopportune time just annoys me. Do these protagonists have nothing better to do than skulk around hallways like a local paedophile? I'd personally attach a bell to my love interest's head, like a cat, so you know where she is at all times. It's easy and lazy drama to catch someone in a compromising position, and almost immediately they forget about it after a single episode. One of these people could stumble across 2 people pissing on each other for online content and they'd still forgive them and forget. I think the main issue though is school romances are inherently terrible. I don't think any young people should worry about getting a girlfriend or boyfriend whilst at school. The capacity to making terrible, life-altering decisions doesn't come slightly later until adulthood, so what's the point in making them now? Financial ruin is the entire point of relationships, has no one told you? This section also includes the accidental pervert moments, which don't happen in female-focused animes. Have you ever noticed that? For men, it's a fun thing. Whoa! I accidentally grabbed your boob! I'm sorry for that. For women, it's assault, so please stop. Number 8. Incest. Casual viewers, you be shocked to know how common this is. To hardcore anime fans, it's just kind of a known thing, like the moon being made of cheese, regardless of whatever those so-called scientists tell you. When I first watched a show that included incest, it took me by complete surprise. When I first saw a real incest plot in anime, you could have zoomed in on my face and experienced a comparable reaction to the first person to see another person's shit. I was sitting there like this, waiting for it to be revealed as a joke. I think the whole step-sibling thing is weird, though technically legal. I wouldn't care to know that me and my parent have similar taste in pussy or dick. Marrying cousins is also a thing that's hideous, but socially acceptable over there. Cousin marriage, for the record, is also legal in Britain, although it's exclusively used by the royals to keep the inbreeding in-house. The people who have to organise anime family trees must be having an absolute nightmare. I bet it looks like a bowl of spaghetti rather than a tree. You ever noticed how it's always the sister or female character that initiates things? There's an extremely good reason for that. Males who initiate with younger sibling characters elicit an immediate reaction. One that I know I just triggered by saying it. I hope some of you recoiled like an air horn was let off next to your head. The reason that the male-initiated sibling romances are not common in anime is because these characters are usually killed in prison. Number 9. Soulmates. The red string of fate is a thing in Japan. Basically, you have an invisible piece of string that connects you to your soulmate. I must have got mine caught in some prickly bush, as they haven't found me deep in the wolf cave yet. I first learnt about the red string through the medium of Christian, where basically he went to his local mall throwing balls of string at people. This is objectively funny. The red string usually manifests in the childhood friend cop-out. I'll tell you a fact right now. If I learned that I was bound to my childhood friends in some sort of eldritch love ritual, then I would be deeply concerned. One thing that my friend and I used to do was throw rocks at each other. I'd like to say I'm joking, but I'm genuinely not. Statistically speaking, your soulmate is probably Chinese, so you better get on Duolingo, mate. Also, don't confuse it with soulmate, which is when you're friends with a Korean person. How many times is it in romance shows that the first person they meet is the person who wins? That's the same mating practice as bacterium. I just stop watching once they meet the first girl. Men, you see, are strange creatures, and we can be swayed by common things, such as giving us attention, or pebbles like a penguin. Thus, all harems operate on a finders-keepers system. Shows with female romantic leads, and thus are generally aimed at women, require subtle things, such as plot, to keep viewers happy, so they make far better viewing. Women actually consider the contents of a person's character, rather than who has the highest overall polygon count on their arse. Number 10. Teachers. I know I promised to be nice to the Japanese, but sometimes you have to break your words if it's for the good of all. I'm fairly sure that the reason that teachers and tutor anime romances are so common is that it's the only people that they spend time with alone, replacing the time-honoured history of this job being held by the clergy. We Never Learn is actually a show I enjoyed. That might shock you, but the protagonist is aware of the fact that he's a big fanny, so tends to keep things pretty professional. That can't be said for the teacher, who is breaking a great number of ethics codes. That withstanding, I actually like her as a character, largely because we have so much in common. Beautiful, a genius, but is let down by how much of a stubborn dickhead they can be. I tried to watch Great Teacher Onizuka once, and people were like, "Oh, it's so funny, a wonderful show," and then he goes on to try and molest a student on episode 2. Brilliant suggestion, guys. Let me just input your details in the Wolf FBI computer. Number 11. The Wall Slam. This is a Japanese trope that I'm very glad we're not close to adopting. I don't trust myself to do this move. What if I misjudge the distance and just slap her into oblivion? I'm not about to catch another case. Americans, please don't do this at all, even if you think you can. Your construction materials are not suited to wall slams. You go right through your shitty drywall and mow down your next door neighbour's dog. In Britain, we live in real houses made of bricks and or mud, so we have a much lower risk of ending up in financial ruin. Here's something I learnt the other day, and now you have to learn it too. East Asian people don't have armpit odour. It's a genetic mutation, so the wall slam performed by them is a no-safe manoeuvre. If I did this during the heat and humidity of the Japanese summer after a full, long day at school, I'd kill the girl I did it to. It would smell like decayed garlic and smegma. Wolves, of course, can only clean via pond plunges and licking, so it's even worse for me. It's also the same mutation that makes them have dry, flaky earwax. I don't think that's a particularly good trade-off for us. We definitely came out worse for sure.
Hey girl, have you ever wanted a Western man? Oh, these, my moist inner ears? Yes, you may touch them.
I don't think I like the idea of someone slapping the wall above my head. I don't care what the context is. That's a prime judo throw opportunity. Whilst I'm on the topic, why are you so into the whole handsome man assault thing, ladies? So I think that's what the wall slam is for. It's like a show of dominance. Just make eye contact and throw shit at each other like the rest of the primates. Leave the architecture alone. I like to imagine that Japan has rigorous structural engineer safety inspections, lest the walls not be capable of surviving a teenage boy wall slam. Someone suggested I check out Diabolic Lovers, and I was like, well, yeah, I guess it's like a romance. But it turned out to be diabolically shite. The entire premise of this show is a girl being harassed by essentially old vampire men. That's not a romance vampire harem, that's a grooming gang. I decided I could do way better, so please, along with the Wolf Nude Calendar, look forward to the Wolf Visual Novel Companion. Wow, wasn't that fun? Like, comment and subscribe. Bye.